Hello everyone, thanks for joining. Could someone take a chat and confirm, am I audible and clear? All right, sounds good. So I'm clear and audible. Okay, welcome everyone for Certified in Cybersecurity training program. So let's start with agenda. This program packed with structured agenda. So this week we start with introduction and certificate overview and whatever syllabus or the complete course details we will cover. Let's start with the first item, cybersecurity as a domain. Why cybersecurity can be a better option for your career and future. Then we'll talk about how to start certified in cybersecurity with very minimum investment, as this training and certification will not occur any cost to you. Then I will talk about ISC², then about the certificate exam, certified in cybersecurity. We'll talk about eligibility and exam, key things to remember. Then I will walk you through domain 1, as this exam consists of 5 domains. Domain 1 we will cover today. Then I will give you handout whatever materials or resource links so that you can plan and prepare for the examination. Then homework. In 2017, when I was working as a security analyst, one fine day I was in night shift. That time I found out one of the client was Southeast Asia's stock exchange, one of the known country stock exchange. Hackers intruded their servers and start creating Active Directory accounts, 20 plus accounts created. So that time I reported to the incident to the customer, then they mitigated the incident. This is one example how cybersecurity plays major role in any finance organization or any companies. When company grows beyond certain level, cybersecurity is one of the key component customer should invest on. So that moment I realized cybersecurity is one of the key domain where you can learn about various controls. So since onwards, I started my career in cybersecurity. In recent years, I found out one of the certification given by free of cost, and only the small amount of preparation is required for working professionals or students. They can understand the cybersecurity better. When you practice cybersecurity, we are particularly protecting the system or resources from unauthorized access or use. But when it comes to cybersecurity, it is a two-sided coin. One side is hackers or people do bad things by violating rules and standards. The other side, cyber defenders, who are working professionals who try to protect or defend companies' assets like laptops or servers or websites or emails, anything. So these two sides, right, defensive and offensive, or you are going to learn about defensive side first, then later you focus on the offensive side. The reason I keep repeating this is, if you go with defensive, you know how to mitigate the cybersecurity threats, what are the tools, controls you need to learn. Then you can go with the offensive side like hacking or doing scanning or ethical hacking. So those things are later part. So once you start proper area about cyber defensive side, then you can easily go with offensive side. So let's come to this course.
Sorry, I don't understand.
All right. All right. Cybersecurity as a domain for better future. What we are talking here, to get a job. If you are a final year student or IT student, cybersecurity is a domain. You may have various job opportunities if you are equipped with certification and necessary skills. So if you complete this certification, you are standing out in the crowd in the job market. You may get a job quickly. This is for freshers. If you are already having a job, as this meeting, few people signed up from working side, like working professionals also signed up. If you are a working professional and looking to enhance cybersecurity skill and like to deviate your domain towards cybersecurity job opportunities, then you can also practice this certification and you can give it a try to crack the exam. So first thing is to get a job. Second, to get better life. Like if you get good job, good pay, your lifestyle will be enhanced and improved. Next, challenging work. Cybersecurity, when you are repetitive task won't be there in cybersecurity. For example, if you are a SOC analyst, every day you are going to deal with new type of incidents, security incidents. If you are an implementation engineer for cybersecurity tools, every day you may implement different stuff. Most of the time you won't do repetitive tasks that engage you in a role, you won't get bored easily. Then recession proof. What does that mean? If our economy goes down, companies laying off, if you look at companies laying off statistics, more than 80% of the cybersecurity professionals will not be impacted. The reason cybersecurity professionals are core pillar for that enterprise. If they lay off them, they may lose their business because cybersecurity controls managed by them, implemented by them. So cybersecurity roles most of the time during mass layoff may not be impacted. Then key domain for every business. Every business should follow cybersecurity principles. So always demand would be there. Then grow in your career. If you are having 2 to 3 years IT experience, or you have software development skills, or if you are looking into different domain in IT, like cybersecurity is not only the domain, right? The development, quality, QA, or DevOps, various domains exist in information technology. So if you are going to be, any other domain, no worries. You can anytime change back to cybersecurity, because having those skills will help you to get a job in cybersecurity as well. For example, I started my career as a technical support engineer, then later moved to cybersecurity. So based on interest, you can go to any domain. Even I know some of the working professionals came from lecturer background. They did Master of Engineering and they worked for colleges 3-4 years. Then they moved to cybersecurity, then joined cybersecurity companies as a technical support engineer. Then they started career on professional journey from teaching to working professional in enterprises or companies. So anytime you can change your career towards cybersecurity if you learn properly with the certification and proper structure. So this is about why importance. I'm talking about importance so that you will develop that interest to learn this course. So the next one, start from zero cost model. This is the primary reason I'm hosting this call, because if you spend, let's say, after college, I spend 50,000 to learn SAP. SAP is a CRM tool. Then months passed, 2 to 3 months passed. I didn't get any job. So I just invested 50,000 rupees for training. I didn't get any outcome. I end up with no job. To avoid that, we need to figure out what are the options available in the market so that you can start with zero investment. Only the option is to learn and give you a time and consistency to clear the exam. So zero cost, the exam doesn't cost you anything. The training is completely free, delivered by me. And with the minimum charge, you need to travel to the exam center and give the exams. That's the minimum cost you need to afford. If you crack it, that's good. If you are not able to crack the exam, no worries. You learned that skills through the training. So you learn. Certificate doesn't matter whether you are passing or failing, but the key thing is you learned cybersecurity domain properly with industry level standard. That's the important. So training, certificate, and 5 modules training completely free. Then what you need to pay, your time, your commitment, and prove your skill to get international standard certificate. The one major gap in rural students or students from tier 2, tier 3 colleges in rural town in India, the primary challenge is we know technical stuff, but when it comes to multiple choice questions, all 4 answers looks like a correct answer. We may fail to choose among which one is most correct answer among 4. But unfortunately, this exam is multiple choice question. You need to develop that skill. If I give you a question with 4 answers, all 4 may be correct. Among 3 may be slightly correct. 1 is the perfect answer. So we need to develop that skill to ruling out incorrect answers, because this exam consists of 100 questions, multiple choice. Then about ISC². ISC² is a non-profit organization. The expansion International Information System Security Certification Consortium. This is the only one non-profit company or organization is offering vendor neutral certification. What does that mean? If you know CCNA is offered by Cisco. It is not vendor neutral because you are going towards one particular product. If you are learning Azure Cloud, you are learning Azure Cloud, not other product. It's again not vendor neutral. But if you learn anything from ISC², it is about cybersecurity, because they are bringing this standard from no any particular vendor perspective. If you learn cybersecurity, that can be applied in Azure, that can be applied in AWS, that can be applied in while developing a code, while developing or building a website. You can use the cybersecurity concepts to secure your software or web pages or email servers, anything. So the foundation should be strong. On top, you can go to any domain, whatever you like to go from your career. So ISC² is a non-profit org. So they are offering multiple certification. Among one is certified in cybersecurity. I just give you bird eye view. Enter this training with certification, how it looks like as a learner. So we are in a position number 1. We are learners now. We are just in position number 1. Second one, we need to register. We need to sign up for the certification. Where we need to register? You need to go to ISC² website, create a profile with your details. Then you need to register, sign up for the exam. While signing up, ISC², it was on 2022, they started a mission called creating million cybersecurity professionals across the globe. They understood that cybersecurity professionals shortage is going to happen across the country. Companies not able to fill the openings because they couldn't find right resource in the job market. So cybersecurity, ISC², they started 1 million cybersecurity professional program. They made this certification free of cost. So you can sign up. You can sign up for the self-paced training. You can sign up for the certification. So self-paced training and certificate completely free for first attempt. In case you fail, you like to do second attempt, then you need to pay $200 USD as a fee. Plus GST it may come to sign up from India. So the first attempt itself, we need to secure the success. So you need to work hard for next 45-50 days. Then we will evaluate your technical ability by giving you mock exam or a practice exam. Once you are comfortable, then you can book the exam in Chennai or Bangalore or wherever cities you have relatives or you like to travel, then go and give the exam. For working professionals, whatever city you are in, there are centers available near to you. You can find that centers from Pearson is the company. They are giving the exam part. I mean, the ISC² given exam part to Pearson. Pearson is an entity. They only take care of the exam. What they do? They register you, they validate your ID cards, they allow you to sit the exam for 2 hours, pass or fail, they will give you the result immediately after the exam. So Pearson is the company, they are managing only certification exam part. ISC² is the company or non-profit org. They developed this course and the course material and self-paced training given by ISC². So there is no doubt here. Two entity, ISC² is the primary entity, Pearson is our exam coordinator. That's it. So if you are working professional, you are based out of India or UAE or any other part of the world, you can figure out your nearest exam center from Pearson website. Go to Pearson website, you can figure out which exam center is best for me within reachable distance. For students who are from South, as most of the students signed up from NEC, they should go to Chennai or Bangalore because Chennai is the nearest center what you have. You need to sign up with Chennai center. After thoroughly prepared for the exam, you can schedule the exam and you can give it a try. Now, key things to remember. While signing up for the exam, you no need to submit any ID proofs, but at the time you go to exam center, you need to provide 2 government issued ID proof. These 2 ID proofs are, it could be anything, Aadhaar card, driving license, passport, or credit debit card with your name printed on it. The name part, most of the South Indians has this problem. Our names are end with our initial or start with our initial. If the name same as your with your initial is presented on any of the ID card, driving license or voter ID or Aadhaar card or passport, then carry 2 of them to the center so that they will validate and allow you. In case you have doubt, you can open a support ticket in ISC² website, attach your both ID card and get that confirmed whether you are eligible to give the exam or not. They would validate and confirm you before the exam. The reason I'm discussing this because in past I had some experience when I trained some students. They prepared well, then they tried to give the exam center, they made them bit nervous in the beginning because your initial is not there or your second name is missing in Aadhaar card, or Aadhaar card you brought a color copy, not an original with a chip. There are problems may arise. So at the time you are going to exam, make sure you have 2 solid ID proof that is matching your name as per the records. Then exam duration is 120 minutes. Multiple choice questions. Out of 100 questions, you need to score 70 questions. They call it as 1000 out of 700 points to pass the exam. This exam will be evaluated based on 5 domains in cybersecurity. So the acceptable ID proofs given in this link, I will share this entire slide with you all over email. Then you will go through the ID proof requirement. Let's say in case I have only one ID proof, what should I do? Most of the students may not have driving license. I only have Aadhaar card. Even that Aadhaar card is just a small copy they sent me over post. That is not the chip one. Then what you can do, you can try to get another ID proof while preparing itself. For example, you can get driving license if possible, or you can prepare passport if you have one, or if you have any other card like credit or debit card with your name printed on it, you can use that as a valid proof. So make sure you have 2 ID proof before you go to travel to the exam. Next is syllabus. As I mentioned, 5 domains covered in this exam. First one is security principle, then incident response, business continuity and disaster recovery, access control concepts, then network security, security operations. So from beginning to end, how to register, what are the site you need, what are the open source material available, all documented in this Google site, which I prepared for a year ago to help students and people who are interested to give exam. So I will share this website as well. This will give you clear picture which website you need to go first and register, then register for Pearson Center to book the exam. While selecting the exam, you need to select Certified in Cybersecurity certificate as well as self-paced training. ISC² itself, they are giving you 40 hours free video class so that you can attend those video classes to learn all these 5 domains. Without further ado, let's get started into first domain. First domain is security principle. As per ISC² syllabus, they have sub-concept understanding security concepts of information assurance, then risk management, security controls, then code of ethics, then governance and process. So let's start with security concepts of information assurance. So the information assurance starts from security principles. These security principles applicable for any system you build. Let me explain what is each and every item in CIA triad. CIA triad means confidentiality, integrity, and availability. For example, we all using WhatsApp, right? WhatsApp is using end-to-end encryption. Why that is special compared to any website? Website is not using end-to-end encryption. It may be use server-side encryption or client-side encryption. But if you take WhatsApp is using end-to-end encryption. Why WhatsApp is doing that? If someone on the middle, for example, all are using SIM card. These SIM cards are given by any of the internet service provider. It could be Airtel or Jio or any other SIM card provider, right? So these providers, if they take your traffic from your mobile phone and analyze what you are chatting, what you are doing inside WhatsApp, then it is a privacy concern as well as data theft from your side, right? Stealing someone's data or tampering their messages would damage privacy, right? So for that, WhatsApp integrated with end-to-end encryption. Similarly, if you take any website, if you go to google.com, you will see that green log icon, which indicates TLS inspection, right? I mean SSL inspection enabled on that website using SSL certificate. If anyone take the traffic from the LAN, it could be wire or it could be ISP side, or someone installed some bad software on your mobile or laptop, they took the TCP dump or the packet capture or the packets. Here the packets I am talking about TCP packets. If they go and analyze, then they can understand what you are doing on the web page or what message you are sending from the WhatsApp, right? So to mitigate, we are using cryptography. Cryptography is nothing, we are just making ciphertext. You are typing hello, it can be go with some jungled text or alphanumeric word in the line. So if someone try to scan it or try to steal in between, that doesn't make any sense because they cannot decrypt. Only WhatsApp can decrypt or the website can decrypt while uploading anything because the site is protected with SSL or TLS inspection. That is where this confidentiality comes. Confidentiality means, the access control only grant access to respective endpoints. Here endpoint means maybe the WhatsApp other side person only can access. I'm messaging to my friend, only my friend can access. The other friend or someone else cannot access. So to restrict confidentiality using access control. So cryptography and access control can be used to make sure you are adding confidentiality in anywhere. Now I come to real-time examples where you are seeing this in real time. For example, take you are issuing a print document on your PC. There is a printer connected to that laptop or computer. Now, printer to or computer to printer, the data should flow right on the wire. There is a wire connected. Now, the printer and laptop, in between, if someone scanned that wire or attaching some mirroring tools to capture what is being printed, then it would be data theft. So what printer and computer does, maybe it does cryptography. It encrypt everything and send over the wire, so that if someone steal the data on the wire, that data wouldn't be exposed to anyone else. So that way, whatever system you are building, you are developing a website, or you are developing any mobile application, or you are developing some IoT, OT application, or you are doing final year project, it has some communication component. Make sure confidentiality is met. How confidentiality can be met? Using access control as well as cryptography. Next, integrity. Integrity is simple. In layman term, let's say from Thuthukudi railway station, 13 coaches train left the Thuthukudi railway station. The train is going towards Chennai. 13 coaches crossed from Thuthukudi. The moment it reaches Chennai, 13 coaches should arrive right. If in between, if one coach is missing, only 12 will get, arrived. That one packet or one coach is missing. In cybersecurity, so integrity is something, data not changed by someone else, not authorized to do. For example, I am sending 3 messages to my friend. That 3 messages should deliver behalf of me to that my friend. If in the middle, if one message is modified or interrupted, then the data tampering happened. So integrity cannot be met. So authorized person only can make the changes. If unauthorized person able to make the changes, then there is no integrity. Now I come to the same example what I have given initially. When I was working as a SOC analyst in 2017, the hackers came into Active Directory servers and they created dummy accounts, 20 plus user accounts, right? Here, as a hacker, they entered into Active Directory server. So they are not supposed to get access, right? So someone is modifying the system or database, they shouldn't have, supposed to don't have access to. That's where integrity comes. Integrity, only authorized person can make the changes. Then the final one is availability. Any resources, take computer, laptop, website, email, when needed, that is available. When needed, that is available. What does that mean? I need to shop something, I go to Amazon and go and order. The moment I go to Amazon.com, the site should be up and active all the time. That is availability. I go to any internet banking, the site should up and running all the time, so that I can log into my banking app and do my transaction. So if when needed data is not available, then you cannot make availability. For example, you are making a project or you are making any software. That software is hosted and up and running for serve the people or serve the purpose, then the software should be up and ready and available. How you are making availability? There are various techniques. If one site is available, you can bring up another website on the same domain using load balancers. If the primary data center is lost with a flood or a natural disaster like tsunami or anything, you need to open another data center with the same domain in another location. If there is a war between country, let's say, for example, take Russia and Ukraine. Russia launched some missile and that attacked Ukraine's database server. Now that website is down. It's a man-made disaster. Now they need to bring that same site available. Maybe they can host the same replica in Singapore or somewhere else, so that they can bring the same server again within short downtime. That's what availability talks about. So that comes in real time, not for a testing application or a fun application you will see this thing, but in production. If you take any enterprise bank or any high value company, they give importance to availability. So that is discussed in detail in this concept. So now I come to security principle under authentication and authorization. Authentication is about identifying, who you are, right? For example, when you are visiting a web page or when you are visiting your web email, let's say gmail.com, you are asked to authenticate. What is your user ID? That's where the authentication starts. Who you are. Yes, I am the person have access to or has access to respective email server. Now authentication, user identification is completed. Next, what form of validation I can do? What you have, who you are, or what factor of authentication you are holding. For example, let's say password based authentication, user ID and password validated against in the database. Then if password and user ID matches, it will grant access, then you will be successfully get into the application. If there is a second factor enabled, let's say mobile OTP or soft OTP enabled, then you will get push message or respective OTP through SMS. Then once you give that, then only it will grant it. That piece is authentication. Now authorization. Once user is identified, what level of privilege you have. For in simple term, create a Google document you are sharing with your colleague or your friend over Gmail, you just give view access. That view access, how it will interpret it, your friend log into docs.google.com and able to view the document what you have shared over email or the link, right? So you are giving authorization to view the document, not from the the restriction, the permissions are shared from you to your friend, whatever permission you set. So this authorization is a right or a permission that is granted to a system or any resources. In my example, it is a Google document, but in real time, it would be a router or switches or servers administrators, right? Let's say you are administrator for a Linux or a Windows server. You have full right access. You are the administrator. Now you need to grant one access to one of the user who just read the logs. He will not do any other action. Then he just need log access privilege. You need to give least privilege account to that user so that he can do his job by just reading the logs. He will not take backup or he will not modify any configuration. So authorization comes into picture. Once first user identified who the user is, then the right or permission is applied. So this can be seen in multiple ways. In Linux, you can apply permissions. Windows, you can give permissions and privileges. In Google Drive or any online storage, you have option to restrict the document editing or viewing or commenting. These all are permissions related. So that will fall under authorization. So why I am explaining with more examples, in exam, they will give you a scenario based questions at times. For example, Bob has access to a Windows server. Now Bob is an administrator. Bob needs to give access to his help desk newly hired colleague, maybe Alice. Alice wants to access only maybe certain portion of the Windows server. Now what permission Bob need to allocate to Alice, right? So they may give 4 options. Option 1, that respective role. Option 2, administrator. Option 3, maybe backup administrator. Option 4, no access granted. So you need to understand the question. They are talking about security principles and authentication and authorization. Then you need to rule out wrong answers. Then you need to figure out the right one. Next, start with non-repudiation. Non-repudiation comes into picture when someone is saying or neglecting or saying no, they haven't performed that action in later stage. For example, you are sending a document to your friend for getting his approval or signature. Later stage, he was denying that fact. He hasn't signed that signature, someone else did it. He is not accepting he was signed that document. Now what should you do? Where the trust? That is broken, right? So to fix that problem, non-repudiation is part of security principles. Non-repudiation would help. You will not deny, or you cannot deny in later stage because it is digitally signed by you, or you are the source developed that resources. This non-repudiation always comes into legal and forensic investigation. There are cases you might have seen, some hackers get arrested, some guy who sent some bomb email threat to any government agencies get arrested with evidence. What it says, for example, there was a guy who get arrested by police for sending bomb threats to all the schools and colleges. First, it's not a rightful act. Who did it? The guy who get arrested. How forensic investigator identified? The email triggered from that public IP that owned by that user, or the email signature is matching the device fingerprint, the device generated that email, or they have found that digital evidence on the user's mobile or laptop. So now the person who sent email cannot deny, I didn't send, because you have that evidence get created, right? So this is the non-repudiation parameter we are talking here. This is applicable in any system. Let's say the printer cannot deny the laptop didn't send the file, even the file is received, because the laptop only sent the file for printing, printer accepted it. Now printer cannot claim that, hey, your system didn't send, someone else sent this document, right? Because there is a encryption, or there is a fingerprinting or identification through system name or printer name, communication, all documented in various process. That's where non-repudiation comes. So inability to deny taking an action, such as creating information or approving information, sending or receiving a message. Ability to prevent a denial, because you cannot deny. Now I come to data privacy and data security. Before go to this topic, information security and cyber security both are interchangeable domain, like most of the things cross covered or overlapping. But key difference is cyber security only talks about systems, network kind of a security. Information security is talk about outside systems. For example, your company or your college printed out all your information and store it in a maybe giant book. These are the students studied in my college for 2025. That's the information stored in very book. That book has that information. That book to be protected to prevent data leakage for the students' database. That's information security. That fall under information security. Now I took backup into my hard drive. I have that hard drive backed up all the data. That is information that is to be secured. Or someone created patent or intellectual property or trademark registration. That is kind of information that to be protected in companies. So these all fall under information security. The reason I'm talking information security here, because here data privacy is there. Data privacy means defines how data is collected, stored and distributed. For example, you are creating a web application. That application is going to collect, let's say, simple application, maybe blood donor and giver, blood donor connect application. You are connecting all the people and giving that database to nearest hospital. Whoever need blood, maybe they contact that application to find the donor. Simple concept. Now you are collecting user's name, user blood group, maybe date of birth or age or location, right? These all are fall under data. If you collect any sensitive information, you need to obey